I was finally able to see Didi after waiting such a long time. The question is it any good? Let's find out right now.
Yo, Wang Wang, don't even trip. You got strong ass teeth. You're handsome.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. As I said in the intro, today I'll be reviewing Didi, the newest coming of age movie. Before we get started though, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Helps a lot. We're on the road to 800 subscribers. Before we get into the review, I'm going to read you guys a quick plot synopsis just so you know what the movie is about. In 2008, during the last month of summer before high school begins, a 13-year-old Taiwanese American boy learns what his family can't teach him: how to skate, how to flirt, and how to love your mom. So yeah, I've been waiting a long time for this movie. This one premiered all the way at Sundance just in January of this year. I think it was an in-person movie and a virtual screening. It's taken almost 7 months, but I finally got to see it at my local art house theater. If you have any local art house theaters near you, this might be playing along with Sing Sing. I always do recommend those theaters because I feel like that's where you find the most respectful audience and some of the best films of the year. And yeah, the Sundance thing is also really cool. You know, I think I might do Sundance next year, just the virtual stuff, so stay tuned for that. I could do some reviews on Sundance movies pretty early if I do get to do it. I've heard it's a great experience. Like, you get movies like this, and I'm happy to report that this film lived up to my high hopes of months of waiting, because it's one of my favorite movies from this year, probably creeping into my top 5 of 2024. That list is kind of just like all over the place right now. I'm probably going to get it reworked at the end of October after all those big movies come out. I still think it, is going to be in that top 5, but I'll just have to rework it. But I still think that also it is probably one of the best coming of age movies I've seen in my lifetime. Probably the best one since Lady Bird. It might even be better. They're two different movies about two different people in two different time periods. So you really do have to think about that for a while. But I've also always had a big soft spot for coming of age movies, because you can always find something in yourself that really goes with that, relates to a coming of age movie, no matter race or gender. I feel like these types of movies are usually the best ones at writing what kids would usually say and how they would express themselves with family, friends, or even with their first crushes in these types of movies. I really do feel like there's just so much to relate to in these movies, just no matter who you are. I think that's what makes it one of my favorite kind of movie genres to watch. Coming of age movies, if they're done right, they just end up really special and end up as comfort movies. Like a lot of coming of age movies for me, I do have as comfort movies. Like Perks of Being a Wallflower, Dazed and Confused are just a couple that just stick with me for a long time. Not because just the emotion of those movies, because Dazed and Confused isn't really the most emotional movie, just the feeling that you get of being, these people in school making new friends, making new crushes, and just like the vibes, the strong vibes just being in school. Because once you do leave school, for after a little bit of time, some people really do hate being in school, but after you leave school for like 5-10 years, you really do miss those kind of easier aspects of that life, and just seeing friends every single day in different classes and all that. It's something that you can miss, and watching coming of age movies really does bring those memories back to you. And it did that for me. After I got out of this movie, I was like, damn, I miss those times so much. And I will say, a lot of people that were born or grew up in the 2000s will instantly relate to Didi. I was born in 2003, so I had some stuff to relate to for this one, not only because of the cringe and awkward humors and ways they text each other in the film, but also just because this was the early stepping stones of social media, including YouTube and even MySpace. So basically, before the world became entirely glued to their phones, the good old days of life, where the world was so much simpler. I didn't grow up in the MySpace era days. That kind of shut down before I got, a device to have. Like my first ever tablet, it was my first ever device. I got really addicted to YouTube. I know everyone got addicted to YouTube. And then now we have Twitter. We got X, you can call it. Now we have Snapchat, which I stopped using. Instagram, Reddit's a big one now. Reddit is kind of like the new, I wouldn't say the new MySpace, but a big area where people just talk to each other on there. It's crazy how social media has evolved for good and bad reasons. I do feel like, this era, this 2008 era was a nice place where it's just at its, starting point. And I love seeing in this movie, there's one scene here where he's scrolling, I think it's either on Facebook or MySpace, and someone wrote, "Round 6 of seeing The Dark Knight with my friends." The 2008 days were crazy. Dark Knight, round 6. I related to that because I'm always posting on Twitter. If you follow me, round 2, round 3 of a certain movie. This year I got round 9 of Dune Part 2. I always love rewatching movies It's just one of the best ways of expressing myself. Rewatching a certain movie that you love never gets old. And it taking place during the last summer before high school is what I also felt the most attachment to, because that transition was the hardest out of all of them. I think a lot of other people can agree to that. Going from elementary school to middle school is, different, but it's not as different. Going from middle school to high school is like a huge difference. You go to a bigger school with more classes, longer classes, more students. Like it's like triple the amount of students from middle school. It's a total new environment. It's a scary environment, and you want that last summer to be super special before you go into the unknown and take that next big step in life. And I just really related to that, because my summer before going into high school was a really great time. This is directed by Sean Wang, and this is his first full-length feature film since he worked only on shorts before this. I think he has a short that was nominated for an Oscar. I thought his direction here was great, but I thought his writing is what really stood out to me the most. He knew what he wanted to make and added so many layers to it while making it fly by. It felt so short by the end of it because of how well the story moved along, and each scene flew right into the next with some great editing choices. We've always been struggling with movies feeling way too long, but this one I just was enjoying myself. I just had a great time, and I felt like the movie just flew by. It's about an hour and 48 minutes, an hour and 50 minutes, but I was in there and then I was out of there like lickety split. I feel like you could watch this one, have a lot of rewatches with this one, and just really enjoy your time with it, and just feeling like you didn't waste any time. You just watched a quick movie. What I really loved though was the strong mix of emotional elements with humorous one-liners. It starts off as a pretty light-hearted film that soon mixes with a lot of cringy and awkward one-liners that we can all relate to. A lot of us will laugh at those. I laughed at a lot of those one-liners. I thought it was a very funny movie. It might be the funniest movie of the year, but they will have you, laughing a lot at times, and then it makes a great shift, somewhere in the middle where it hits you right in the feels, but pretty slowly. It starts out slow with one emotional moment, but then it builds to even more conflict. I feel like the slow hits of sadness building, building and building and building over the course of the film made the ending, even more impactful than it had any reason to be. It made it super meaningful because, some films have this just one big emotional moment at the end, but this one had a couple emotional moments leading, and it just built on this character, and it just made the ending, really meaningful with his mom. It's just a great emotional journey. It's great, hilarious journey through just life itself and, growing up. It also has a killer soundtrack that just instills good vibes that mixes with a super soft but memorable score. I do want to talk about Isaac Wang, who plays Chris Wang, the lead of this movie. He's also called Wang Wang as his nickname. I thought he was great here. He's mostly in, a lot of other kid-friendly stuff. He's going to be in the new Pixar series Win or Lose, which I'm actually pretty interested in, so I'll definitely check him out on that. But I thought he gave a fantastic performance in this one. It's not going to get nominated or win any Oscars. Doesn't really have to, though. I just thought that he really, really nailed this job, especially with the layers that his character gets added on him, the more pressure that he gets added on him, and just losing, not finding a place to fit in this new world of growing up. And I thought that he just really instilled that awkwardness in the certain scenes when he needed it too. And I really got to keep an eye out for him to see if he ventures into any more live action stuff like this, because I feel like that this is his big calling card right here to get more huge roles. I just thought he was excellent all around. Overall, Didi is one of the best coming of age movies I've ever seen, and it's definitely one of the best movies of 2024. It packs a punch of emotion, but it's also filled with a great amount of awkwardness that will make you laugh a lot during the whole duration of the movie. It's a tender film about fitting in and finding your place while also losing pieces of what you had before, and it finishes out super strong. I'm going to give this one a strong 9 out of 10 on my first watch. I'm definitely going to come back to this one a couple more times, and I'm really excited to own it. Hopefully it comes with physical media. This is one I'd be really happy to add to my collection. I really do recommend checking this one out a lot. It is terrific. If you have seen it, make sure to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. If you did enjoy my video, my review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.